Good evening and welcome back to Prime of My Life. It's Saturday evening and tonight I have a question. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I'll let you hear my thought process and you can let me know what you think. So when I was watching the news or reading the news or whatever, and somebody had said about the postal strikes, that there had been an offer but the conditions were quite hefty, and one of the conditions was that new starts, the new wage would be 20% lower than people were getting now, but also that the van drivers were going to be self-employed, like the gig economy, like Uber. And I was like, okay, not liking that at all. And then it got me to thinking, that's actually been quite a big thing over the last few years. There's a lot of places who are looking to have people come in self-employed. Obviously, all your delivery drivers, your Yodel, things like that. And I was just wondering, how does that benefit people? And for me, it doesn't particularly benefit the workers. However, for the companies, it means there's no holiday pay, there's no sick pay, and there's no national insurance. And of course, then I went on to the next stage of my thought process, which is if there's no national insurance, that means there's no pension payments. And obviously now in the UK, you have to have a pension anyway. It's not just your national insurance that you pay, you also pay a pension payment. So is this the government looking to shut down pension payments? Is this the government looking to shut down national insurance payments? Because they're pushing, or even if they're not pushing, they're allowing businesses to not look after their staff, to not actually have staff. If I'm correct, Uber has ended up in court trying to say that they don't have workers, because there's a very specific definition of a worker in the UK, where if they are working for you, then you do have to pay national insurance, you do have to pay their pension contributions, etc., etc. And there's an awful lot of jobs now where you're not getting job security. I mean, even teachers now, they're only getting employed for a year. University professors, it's for a year at a time. They're not actually getting a job. They're getting a short-term contract. And I find that quite concerning. But as I say, I don't know an awful lot about the ins and outs of it. I haven't actually looked at it that much. And that's why I'm putting it out there going, how do you feel about this? Am I just thinking, is this just pie in the sky? Or is this actually something that's happening a lot more? Because what I find with me being in such a rural area, I don't find out how prevalent something is a lot of the time in the cities. And it could be that in the cities, I know certainly when I was down visiting Patrick in London, when you had your Uber, etc., that was to the detriment of the black cabs. Now, I have to say, when I put my daughter, I didn't put her down, she went down on holiday to London, and she was warned within an inch of her life, and I don't care if she was 20-something at the time, she was well warned. You do not use an Uber, you use a black cab and you take a picture of the licence plate. Because people are selling their Uber credentials, giving them away to friends. And there's been way too many assaults or non-pickups, just way too many problems with Uber for my liking. And I'm thinking that could actually start transpiring in a lot of different jobs. So I'm sure you can see my concerns. So I'm putting it out there. Let me know what you think, because I just picked up on that when they were speaking about it with the post office, and it just concerns me a bit that all of a sudden the post office is going for self-employed. And Patrick wants to say something. What do you say?
Nothing.
Oh no, he's just looking at me with that sort of like, oh my goodness, look. So yeah, So let me know what you think, because as I say, this popped into my head. I do not know for sure, but I've got a feeling that there's an awful lot more gig economy in the cities and the bigger towns than I realise living in my little rural town. So that's me for Saturday night. I am now going to rest and relax. As you know, I'm at Patrick's, so I think we will go and have something nice for dinner and then just kick back and relax. So I hope you have a good Saturday, and I will catch you later.
Yay!